Hello everybody, welcome back. Rugby TV. We of course carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. It sounds like that's become my sort of stock standard interview now, at least intro to every second, because that really is what we're doing. We're trying to keep the clubs connected and keep you, the club rugby fan, interested and connected with what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Of course, we know things are difficult at the moment. Joining me on the line now, the head coach of UWC, Treu. Paul joins me on the line now. Paul, nice to have you on the show.
Hi, JP. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Paul, I think it might be a first time that we've got you on the show. Certainly it's the first time in the online arena. Let's get the basics out the way. Are you healthy? Are you safe? Are you in one piece?
Yeah, JP, so obviously it's quite a challenge, coaching a team during this pandemic. But I've tested, I think just over a week ago and tested negative. But yeah, with these kind of things, you just never know. I think you just have to continue following your protocols, keep your distance, sanitize, and just try to minimize risk. But yeah, luckily at this stage, I'm still healthy, and we're just trying to keep our squad on the field as well.
Talking about keeping your squad on the field, I mean, it's been a little bit upside down for Varsity Cup and Varsity Shield. It was on, it was off, it was on, it was off. It must be difficult for you keeping the players motivated to begin with.
I think, when, just to give you some background, I mean, when I started, I was appointed in August last year, and I didn't even have like a single online discussion, with the players and meetings like all the other universities did, and maybe some of the clubs, because our players obviously have different challenges. I mean, they don't have data. They don't have access to facilities to train like most of the club players. So we basically only started when we actually got back to campus. And that in itself was a challenge. So besides the SA Rugby protocol, the Western Province protocol, we also have our internal, university protocol to get back on to campus. So we eventually did. We were training all over Cape Town up until I think October, and in November we started training at at the university. And so it's I must say it's really a challenge, keeping the players on the field. When everyone, any player's got you've got to take that as a COVID symptom, so you've got to treat it, with with all the precaution. And but I must say, we have a brilliant medical team that we put together, and they're doing a stunning job to make sure that our players are safe, and that we can keep them on the field for as long as we can.
Paul, I mean, you've coached all around the world, and you've coached at the absolute highest level, from Olympics to World Cups, international championships, countries against each other. But the Varsity Cup also comes with a certain pedigree. It's not just universities playing. It's not just casual rugby. You've got some serious heavyweight coaches and really, really good teams up against you.
Yeah, I must admit, JP, I don't quite know what to expect, so I have to just follow the things that I've always done in the past, and that is just to control the things that's within your power, and it's the controllables. And, so we put our focus and our energy, in that. But yeah, like you said, I mean, there are coaches who are so experienced, coaching Varsity Cup, understanding what it's like, dealing with students in their normal, day-to-day lives. And it's going to be a big challenge for me personally. But like I said, I've got some very good people around me. Our chairman, Nick Koch, and we've got Clement Trout, who's doing our admin, for the university. And like I said, I've, with the, Lionel Langenhoven, he's still involved with the club. He's going to be the first, head coach of the first team. He's also assisting with the scrums. We've got Nicky Viljoen, former Hamilton's coach, who came in as a line-out coach. We have Bubbles, who's our S&C. We've got, Jenna Bam, who's been appointed as our sports scientist. I think we've really put a good team together. It's our high performance department. Their staff is assisting us, from a scientific and from a sports science perspective, S&C perspective. So I really think we've managed to put a good system together. But now it's just making sure that we can keep our players on the field, and we can start playing some practice games, because that's going to be a challenge in itself.
I think it's very exciting. I mean, we just see UWC is just getting stronger and stronger every year, and even the facilities are just getting better and better, and more world class every year. I mean, right now, in fact, I believe that you guys are busy upgrading the field, upgrading the stadium a little bit as well.
Yeah, I think we were a bit disappointed at first when we heard that, obviously they're gonna start, working on the track and on the field, and we won't be able to have any of our home games actually on our home turf. But I think once that facility is going to be done, it's going to be world class. And I think, JP, it's not just something for the university, but we're also serving the community at large. And I think, for people to come back to the university and experience that kind of facilities, we're really looking forward to that. Just before we continue, let me just mention, obviously, Ricky Peterson as well, because I forgot to mention his name. And Ricky, obviously,
Absolutely,
winning the Varsity Seal with CPUT.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to have him on board as well. And these guys they've been involved in club rugby for so long. I mean, you've been doing this for a number of years and doing this show. And I've always watched it. I've always, watched club rugby, but I've never experienced it actually being involved with club rugby. And it is just a different kind of ball game. But I really enjoying it. Every single day when we drive into work, it is just a different kind of experience, as opposed to, dealing with and coaching, the Stormers, or coaching Western Province, or coaching international teams. It is just a completely different ball game. And I think it challenges you in different ways. And I can't, like I said, and you also said it, I can't wait to start and to actually see how all the hard work that you put in, how that is going to transfer, to the actual games.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, some of the names that you mentioned there, all through and through in their blood, club rugby. Ricky Peterson, Nicky Viljoen, Bubbles,
Lionel.
I mean, we can go through it. Ricky was at Tygerberg, Lionel's at Kells River, Nicky at Hamilton's, I mean, the list is just endless. Nick Cock, who himself has been involved at UWC for a long time, involved with Western Province cricket. I mean, these are guys that are just through and through. And Paul, the one thing that I've noticed about UWC is that I find absolutely amazing is that so many players will play for UWC, and when they're finished studying at UWC, when they're finished, some of them will carry on playing club rugby. And even today, we will find them playing as the sort of high-profile players at some of the clubs in Western Province, and that's fantastic.
I think that's exactly it, JP. I mean, we've said it as a coaching team also. We're not just there to improve rugby at UWC. We also want to tap into our communities and making sure that that we're giving back to the communities as well. So whether it's through our players, former players going back to their clubs and back to their communities, and whether it's coaches coming in and maybe, if there's something they could learn from us, we would like to give back to them and just open our doors, for people to learn. So it's definitely something different for me, and it's an opportunity to give back to the communities. And like I said, I'm just enjoying it every single day.
I think it's fantastic, Paul. We're looking forward to following your progress and the players and finding out what everybody's up to. We know it's difficult times at the moment. Of course, this is last year and this year is a season of unpredictability. Who knows what's going to come next? But we know that UWC are in really good hands, and we really can't wait to see what you come up with next.
JP, so I think just observing the players and seeing them train every day, I can just sense these players are hungry for success. And I've said it in a different interview as well. I think we have a responsibility as an institution, to create hope. And I think with the legacy that Chester started, and Lionel took over, and then I took over. I think there's something that we need to create that's really unique. And to create something that people can look up to. And I think that it's going to be our responsibility, every single person within our setup, to make sure that we can give, aspiring young players, that kind of hope, to become something in life, you know, not just rugby players, but just in life, and whether it's to finish their academic studies and whether it's, you know, just to follow their dreams, you know, and to follow their heart. We would like to do that, you know, so let's hope we can do that, you know, as a club, as a team, as a management, as players, and we're looking forward to, you know, to hopefully to entertain you once we hit the field.
Absolutely. Paul, we leave it at that. We'll catch up with you again soon.
Thank you, JP.
There we go, folks. Paul Treu, head coach at UWC. They just can't get out of the starting blocks at the moment because of the COVID thing, but almost there. We're just waiting for it and really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen at UWC. What a team. Did you get those names that he mentioned there? The players, his management team, all through and through club rugby people. And that's really fantastic. We'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll carry on talking about what's happening in the world of West London's club rugby.